Now the tangent graph. We're going to graph two of them so that you can see how they're done. The first one we're going to do is the tangent. Now keep in mind, if I graph a y equals tangent x, based on this on the worksheet that you guys did, a tangent graph looks like this. It goes over here and up. The asymptotes here are at pi over 2 and negative pi over 2. This value of 1 and minus 1 occurs at pi over 4 and negative pi over 4. Now that is my regular tangent. But I have to graph a negative, which means it just reflects across the x-axis. So that means it actually does one of these. That happens to be what this graph looks like. The asymptotes I've located already because it did not switch, but I have to graph two periods. So notice the distance from here to here is pi. Pi over 2 plus pi over 2 is pi. So that means I have to go over a distance of pi. Well, that means I'm going to take pi over 2 plus pi, which ends up being 3 pi over 2. So this value here is 3 pi over 2. That's my asymptote. And halfway is pi. And so to graph two periods, I'm just going to come down and around. Now the point at 1 and minus 1 should be halfway between these two, which would be 3 pi over 4, and this one would be 5 pi over 4. Okay? Now what happens if it is vertically stretched by 2? If this graph is vertically stretched by 2, it doesn't, the period is still pi, so I'm going to put my asymptotes right here. So this is pi over 2 and negative pi over 2. And what happens is that this is now stretched, so the halfway point is now at 2 instead of at 1. So I'm going to put a point here and a point here, and now I'm vertically stretching this. It's hard without a scale to see it vertically stretched, and now I have to do another one. And again, I have to go over pi, which means this is 3 pi over 2. This is pi, and again, that's my 0, so I'll put 1 and there. So here is 2 periods of my tangent graph. Very sketchy, not precise, but you get the general idea. Now, you had a couple problems in 4-5 about using your calculator to solve this. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I hope you can see my calculator, is go to my window, and I need to put 0, and then I need to put 2 pi. And I'm going to put the scale at pi divided by 2, just so that I can have this. Now this is a tangent graph, so I don't think I need it that big, but I'll go negative 5 to 5. What I'm going to do is put this in y1, this in y2. So here we go. I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to have to turn off my plot. Go to my y equals, make sure that's off. Clear this, put tangent x. And then in y2 I'm going to put 0.3. And now I'm going to graph it based on the window they gave me. Alright, now I'm hardly seeing my tangent graph. That should key into the fact that possibly I'm in degree mode. And I am, so I need to change it to radian mode. Now let's graph it. There's my tangent in the window they've asked me to provide, and I have the point 3. I'm going to change this so it's not so big, and then hopefully I can see the intersection a little bit better. Alright, so it looks like I only have 2 answers. Yes, we know it intersects over here, but it's beyond this window. Second, calculate, intersect. If I use this graph, it's going to give me this point. So x equals 3.43. I need to find the other one. So I need to make sure that I move over to the other graph. So I'm just going to hit the left arrow until I see it over here. Let's see. I still don't see the curve, so let's see where we're at. There it is. Enter, enter, guess. And the other answer is 0.29. So you'll have to move and see your x and y to see which curve you're on.